Now this guy, his name is Evan. He pulled off one of the cleanest bank robberies in history and then turned himself in. Evan had always been the kind of man people trusted without really noticing. He smiled politely, stood in line, followed rules, and showed up on time. In his small town, he worked at the local bank, sitting behind a counter every day, helping other people with their money problems while quietly drowning in his own. At home, Evan's world was much smaller. It was just him and his little sister, Lily. Since their parents died, Evan had become everything to her: brother, protector, and caregiver. Lily was bright and gentle, but she was often sick, and Evan spent many nights sitting by her bed, listening to her breathe and praying she would be okay. He never told her how scared he was. He always said, "Everything's fine," even when it was. Money was always tight. Bills stacked up on the kitchen table. Evan cut corners everywhere he could. He skipped meals, wore old clothes, and worked late. When Lily needed more care, Evan did what he thought a responsible adult should do. He asked for help. He went to the same bank he worked for and applied for a loan. They said no. They said rules were rules. Something in Evan cracked that day. Each morning after that, he sat at his desk and watched people walk in and out of the bank. Some laughed, some complained, some withdrew more money than Evan made in months. He smiled at them all, but inside, anger grew. The bank trusted him to handle millions of dollars, yet wouldn't trust him enough to save his sister. Then Lily got worse. The doctor's words were calm, but Evan heard panic in every sentence. She needed care soon. It would cost more money than Evan could ever earn in time. Evan felt the walls closing in. He sold what little he owned. He worked extra shifts. He asked for favors. Nothing was enough. One night, alone at the bank after closing, Evan noticed something small, a detail most people would miss, a flaw in the system. His stomach turned as the thought formed in his mind. He pushed it away. He told himself he wasn't that kind of person. But fear is louder than reason. Evan didn't sleep that night. He stared at the ceiling, thinking about Lily, thinking about what would happen if he did nothing. By morning, his decision was made, not with excitement, not with pride, but with desperation. The robbery happened fast. Evan wore a disguise. He shook as he moved through the bank, his heart pounding so hard he thought it might give him away. He didn't hurt anyone. He didn't say a word he didn't have to. When it was over, he felt no relief, only dread. The town exploded with fear and rumors. The bank closed. People whispered. Coworkers cried. Evan stood among them, pretending to be shocked, pretending to be calm. At home, he hid the money and tried to act normal, but guilt followed him everywhere. Then the detective arrived. Detective Mara Reyes was sharp, patient, and impossible to fool for long. She noticed things others didn't. She asked careful questions. She sensed that the robber knew the bank too well. Evan smiled and answered, but his hands trembled when she wasn't looking. Lily noticed too. She saw the way Evan jumped at noises, the way he stopped sleeping. When she found the hidden money, the truth crashed down between them. Evan finally confessed, his voice breaking. Lily cried, not because she was angry, but because she understood what he had tried to do. "I don't want you to lose your life for me," she said softly. When Evan learned an innocent coworker might be blamed, he couldn't breathe. The lie had grown too big. The cost was too high. So Evan did the hardest thing he had ever done. He told the truth. The money was returned. The innocent were cleared. Evan was arrested. As the cell door closed, he felt fear, but also something else, peace. The lie was finally gone. In the end, Lily visited him. They talked through glass. They smiled through tears. They knew the road ahead would be hard, but it would be honest. And that, the story reminds us, is where real healing begins.